I can hear you in my head, I can feel you in my body, and I'm talking to you in your body.
But you're feeling your own higher mind matching our frequency is what you're experiencing.
It feels wonderful.
Yes, it does.
My good friend Adam Dubois at truthcodex.com wanted to send his heartfelt love and gratitude and thanks to you.
Our unconditional love in return.
He wanted me to say that you are such an inspiration. He found you at a time when he was awakening, and now he is a wonderful channel.
All right.
And he's living the fourth density life.
All right.
What he's particularly glad about is that you laid out the exact steps to follow.
Well, yes. That's what we're delivering to you, the instruction manual. These aren't philosophies, these aren't opinions, these are observations of how reality works, of the nature and structure of existence. We're literally giving you an instruction manual.
And he's so excited, and he's such a leader, and he's passing it on to me, and I imagine in about 2 years' time, or maybe sooner, I will be doing similar type of work.
How exciting.
Yes, 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 yes. He said he's thrilled at all the synchronicities that are happening.
Yes. Because again, synchronicities are always happening. But when you're in a positive state, you notice more positive synchronicity as opposed to negative synchronicity. Because creation always reinforces what you believe to be true most strongly. And if you believe in the negative ideas, it can only really give you a reflection of negative synchronicity that reinforces those negative beliefs. So synchronicity is always happening. It's just that you feel like you notice it more as synchronicity when you're in a positive state.
Well, I think getting to know your body and what the signals are,
Yes.
and reaching for your happiness all the time, it's practice, practice, practice.
Well, it's also being.
Yes.
It's also know yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
So
that's great. Everything's great. That's all
It
good.
is.
Yeah, it's all happening, and it's. I wanted to relay his love to you.
why, thank you.
And we'll probably be talking with you tomorrow when I'm talking with him again, because you kind of pop
All
in.
right, but again, remember, most of the conversation is with your own higher mind.
Yeah, I'm learning that.
All right.
Okay.
Then you are learning.
Yeah. The second thing is my new Russian friend, Elena Nicole,
Yes.
who I met just today. She was wondering if you would be able to tell her the date, time, and place of birth of her in this physical light, in her incarnation now. She is adopted.
Nope. It's not coming up.
Okay.
Therefore, it is not our job to do so, but something else will help her. That much we can sense. She has the help she needs. It's not our job.
Okay.
Thank you.
One more thing.
Yes.
This is my question.
Yes.
What is the importance of the Narwhal agenda or the Narwhal project for me in the past, right now, and in the future?
Define.
My higher self has been relaying this term Narwhal rule in my own personal channelings.
All right.
I've also been embodying it in my swimming
Yes.
and doing like the fin kick, you know, like the dolphins do,
Yes.
and the whales. And so I was just wondering, what is that referring to?
Well, it's a reflection of a combination of things. It's not only the idea of a connection to serious energy,
Right.
but it's also a connection to the idea, in some sense, of nature, spirits, and magical experiences, since it is, in some sense, symbolic of something that you would refer to as the unicorn of the sea. Yes?
Yeah.
It's also that which pierces and penetrates through different ideas, different realities. Yes?
Yes.
So you can use it as a permission slip symbol in that way, by aligning with that energy and experiencing yourself piercing through the veils of illusion to experience the magic of reality and increase and expand your connections to serious energy, which can guide you.
So it's not related to any kind of a hybrid program or those kinds of things?
Not directly in the way that you mean it, no.
No.
Not that you're not connected.
Right.
Just that's not the symbol for it.
Will I meet my hybrid children? I think there was a lot of activity of me providing my genetics.
Yes.
as a
There is
growing
a
up-
probability.
Yeah. Over 50%?
All right, yes.
I shall
Over
raise,
50%.
I'll raise my excitement. Well, I was just trying to sort out the symbolism. And again, I feel an upgrade just being in your presence, meeting you in the
That's
physical
because
body.
you're matching the frequency.
Yeah, yeah.
And therefore you're feeling your own energy upgrading.
Oh, yeah. So
But
that-
you're doing it.
So I can answer my own questions more and more and more.
Absolutely. That's, again, one of the symptoms of being in the preferred state of being.
Right. Oh,
Because all the questions contain the answers. And when you're in the correct state of being, you don't even necessarily need to ask the question. The information is
Exactly.
just there.
that's what I notice when I'm talking to my friend Adam at Truth Codex.
Yes.
When I'm talking to his higher self, it's almost like I don't need to ask the questions because I already know the answers.
Exactly. You always get the information you need exactly when you need it. That's why we tell you all, we don't have any memory at all of anything. We just know what we need to know when we need to know it.
So how can I raise my frequency so I'm sort of like this all the time?
You know the formula.
Okay, I know the formula. You're
Repeat
right.
it.
Just, I can't repeat it. My mind is numb. But just to follow my happiness.
I'm not going to let you get away with that.
Just to
Repeat
go,
it. Repeat it.
I can't repeat your
Sure
words.
you can.
No, I can't. You're
Sure
scaring me.
you can.
I asked you not to scare me, and you said you love me. So
And why are you scared?
because my brain, like here, all I know is just be happy.
Yes.
Don't worry, be happy. That's the way I interpret it.
All right.
Don't worry, be happy.
All right.
And then go from one excitement to the next.
To the best.
Best of my ability.
With no.
Expectation of outcome. Namaste, my friend. Nice to see you in this arena.
We thank you.
All right. Love, love, love.
Yes, yes, yes.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
So I think you've said this quite often about following your highest excitement.
Have I?
You have.
Sounds somewhat familiar, yes.
And it sounds so easy, so it's counterintuitive that any of us would not do so.
Because most of you have been taught to think of things in a more complicated way.
I'm wondering, would I at times choose not to in order to teach myself lessons that I wouldn't have otherwise learned?
Certainly. You can do it that way. You don't have to, but you could. And many of you do. Many times you will allow yourself to experience something you don't prefer because you have a belief that says that it's going to make what you do prefer clearer by comparison. It's like saying it's easier to see the tiny little candle flame when it's surrounded by darkness. Yes?
Yes.
So sometimes you will create the darkness to make it easier to see the light. Then you can move toward the light.
So it just takes some people longer to...
So what? What's your hurry? You are an eternal, infinite being. Where are you going? What's your rush? The idea is to be here now. Because the process you're going through is the entire point of having the physical life. Life is process. The journey is the destination. There is nowhere else to get to. Here is where you all need to be. In what is happening right now. That's the most important thing. There is nothing more important than what's happening right now in your life. And right now, and right now, and right now. Nothing is more important. Because this is where you exist, here and now. If you are trying to be somewhere else, caught up in the past, worrying about the future, you're not really being here and now. And then how can everything that is existing here and now find you if you're not home? It can knock and knock and knock. No one's home. Off, flitting around, dealing with the future, worrying about the past, so on and so forth. We'll just have to wait till they come home. Then maybe they can experience more of what's here in the now.
So that'd be another way to find your highest excitement is to live in the moment?
The idea is hand in hand, as you say. Because when you act on your highest excitement, you are living in the moment. Yes?
Yes.
And when you're living in the moment truly, you are expressing your highest excitement. They just are really two sides of the same coin. Yes?
Yes,
Does that make sense?
it does.
Anything else?
Of the room here, what percentage would you say is extraterrestrial? Just one? Well, I know one, but I didn't know if there was more.
None of you come from another planet.
Okay.
You all have connections to other civilizations, but your bodies were born on Earth. Do you understand that?
I do.
Being an extraterrestrial means you were born on another planet physically.
How do I phrase it then?
You all have connections to extraterrestrial civilizations. You all have counterparts in other societies among the stars. Other versions of yourselves, in a sense. But you all have that.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yes.
From that perspective, it's 100%. But that doesn't mean you are an extraterrestrial in the classic sense of the meaning of that word in your language.
Okay.
Does that help?
It does.
Anything else?
No. Thank you.
Thank you. Go back to your planet.
Hi, Bashar.
And a you good day.
Okay, I have several questions. Let's see, where do I start?
Perhaps at the beginning.
Yeah. Okay, so can you give me a practical method for discovering the definitions in my life that need redefining?
Yes. Anytime you feel an energy, a feeling, an emotion, a thought, a behavior that is out of alignment with what you prefer, that feels like resistance, that is not really the feeling or state of being you prefer, stop and ask, what would I have to believe or define is true about me in this circumstance in order to feel, think, behave the way I do? You can ask it another way as well. If I am not acting on my highest excitement every moment that I can, what am I afraid will happen if I did? Those two questions from either direction, if you are willing to find the answer, will usually put you in touch with what the belief is that is generating the feeling, the thoughts, the behaviors that are out of alignment with what you prefer to experience. It's as simple as that, if you're willing to dig down and find those beliefs and make them conscious. Once you identify a belief that's out of alignment with you, it will suddenly appear to make no sense. And as soon as it makes no sense for you to hold on to it, it's gone. That's not the beginning of the process of letting it go. That's the end. Because as soon as something seems to make no sense, you drop it. So the idea is to bring the unconscious negative belief to light in your consciousness so that you can see it makes no sense. And then it's gone. Does this help?
Yeah. Okay.
But-
Okay. Actually, this is a good lead into the next question because I
right.
do have a fear here. Maybe you can help
A
me
fear
with.
of?
I have a fear of going to jail.
Did you do something?
I don't know. Maybe.
All right.
I'm learning. Okay.
Yes.
My highest joy. I love to do research online.
Yes.
And what I've been learning recently is that perhaps income tax isn't constitutional for the average American. That
Well,
it was made
in a
for.
sense, it's not. Eventually, the idea is that this system will change, and in fact, the present situation may actually accelerate that in a certain way. The idea is that eventually, over the course of the next several years, the concept of income tax will be eliminated, along with the institution that you call the Internal Revenue Service. it will be replaced by a federal consumption or sales tax, which means you will only pay the tax when you decide to buy something. But the idea is that if you wish that system to change, then do something about it by joining those who are working to change it. Yes? The one that is closest to the representation that we have just named is actually called the fair tax. And it's actually a House resolution right now under consideration by your government. So you can get on board if you wish to learn more about it and all the specifics in it, and how you can help join and accelerate the process of changing that system, if that is something that you're excited to do. Yes?
Yes, I am excited to do that.
All right, then look up the fair tax.
And I will. Thank you.
right.
And one more thing.
Yes.
What about the Federal Reserve being
What about
a
it?
private bank?
May I ask you a question?
Yes.
Do you enjoy conspiracy theories? Do you get a secret thrill from them? Do
Maybe.
you like being nervous about them?
Maybe. Yeah. Okay. That's
Why
okay.
not lighten up and stop buying into the negative conspiracy theories and just do something about changing the system in the way that you would prefer to? Yes?
Yes.
Because again, remember, many institutions that operate on the idea of processing information through fear are using that as the chief mechanism to get you to believe that they are more powerful than they are. That's the chief weapon. Information that makes you believe they're more powerful than they are, which then allows you to disempower yourself, give them your power, and actually fulfill the idea that they are more powerful than you are. But they're not. They just want you to believe that they are. Yes? So don't buy into what they're peddling. And then you will see that they're not as powerful as they think, or would like you to think. Yes?
Yes.
You are your governments. That has never been clearer than today. So, walk the path that you prefer. Take the actions that are in alignment with the reality you prefer. Because that's what changes your state of being and shifts you more and more and more and more in whatever sequence you need to shift, at whatever rate and process you need to experience, more and more to the alternate versions of Earth that are already more reflective of the reality that you prefer, because you've made that change within yourself. You never change the world you're on. You just leave it for another version of Earth that's already more representative of the change you made within yourself.
On the same place?
It's not the same place. It just looks like it is, because that's your illusion of continuity. In the course of this conversation, we have all shifted literally billions of times per second through a multitude of parallel realities. But you, with your idea of space and time and continuity, make it appear as if you're still on the same planet. You left the Earth you started on a long time ago. You're no longer on that Earth. But you're creating such small incremental changes in the definition of the new Earth and within yourself that it still seems to be the same place. This is one of the symptoms and one of the experiences that most of you are going to start experiencing now in this new day and age, is a break in continuity. Again, you just experienced the big one. A break in expectation, a break in continuity that leaves you disoriented and free-floating and realizing that you're not in the same reality you thought you were. So the idea is you're not ever in the same reality moment to moment to moment to moment. But if you keep defining it as being the same, that's the way you experience it. So the more you change the definition, the greater the difference in your definition from moment to moment, the easier it is to perceive that you're actually in a different reality all the time. Because the rate of change never changes. Your awareness of the fact that you're changing at that rate and your ability to create a different definition than before, a bigger difference in the definition than you were having before, is what allows you to perceive the rate at which everything is changing all the time. Does that make sense?
Yes, I prefer not to pay income tax, but to
I
do
heard
business
you.
with people.
But the idea is that's the system you have right now.
So I should accept that.
You accept it if you want to live in the system. But that doesn't mean you can't work to change it. Yes? It's not about breaking laws. It's about allowing yourself to change the laws because you have that much power, because you are your government. Yes? You need to start acting like it and start working in ways that change the system to what you prefer. I'm just telling you that what you do when you do that is that you don't change the system on the planet you were on. You shift yourself to a version of Earth that already has the changed system. Because it already exists. Because everything already exists. So you're just navigating yourself to that version of Earth by taking the actions that are commensurate with believing that those things can be changed. That's the energy state that navigates you through the parallel realities to the versions of Earth that are more representative of what you prefer. Yes? That's the way to do the transition in the smoothest, most empowering way. Otherwise, if you're just rebelling, then that means you're still under their control. Do you understand?
Yeah.
It's like saying the prison guard is as much of a prisoner as the prisoner, because the guard has to stay and watch the prisoner.
Yeah.
So the idea of rebelling means that you believe they control you. If you understand that they don't, you will go about things in a very different, empowering way.
Okay.
Yes?
Yeah, okay, cool. Can I ask you one little question?
That was a question. You want to ask another one
I
now?
do. Can I? My knee has been hurting me, and
I do not
really
do
like
health
to know
readings.
what the message
I do
is.
not do health readings.
Oh, but can you help
But
me figure out?
energetically speaking,
Yeah. Yeah.
you need more flexibility
Okay. Thank you.
in the things that support you.
Okay.
Yes?
Yes. Thank you, Bashar.
Does this help you?
Yes, definitely.
Thank you.
Thank
now, as you move through life, don't tax yourself too much.
Aloha, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
So many questions.
So many answers.
Great. No, let's see. 2003, I was in a car accident.
How exciting.
Traumatic. Yeah, it was a traumatic brain injury. For 3 months, I was on Mars talking to space aliens, so I believed.
All right, so.
I got a lot of money from the car accident, but with the brain injury,
Yes. What? What did it allow you to experience that otherwise you might not have?
I trusted everybody, and so the money's long gone. But
Well, the idea is not that you actually trusted everybody. It's that you didn't trust yourself enough. Nevertheless, so what? There are many forms of abundance.
yes, there are.
You do understand our definition of abundance, yes?
Enlighten me.
The ability to do what you need to do when you need to do it. Period. That's abundance. If you have the ability to do what you need to do when you need to do it, you're just as abundant as anyone. No matter what the form of abundance is. Doesn't matter.
I've had other experiences that were very miserable, but
How exciting.
lost all hope in any sort of,
That's also exciting.
which when I saw 3 different events, but 3 extraterrestrial, 3 UFOs,
Yes. And then?
that gave me hope.
No, you gave yourself hope. But hope isn't what you really need. What you need is to know yourself and to understand that you are never alone and that you always have reflections that will guide you. That's what you need to know. Yes? I understand what you mean by hope, but hope implies doubt.
Well, I had twin baby girls born to me 4 years ago.
All right, congratulations.
And then the mother took them away from me. That pulled me out of my hole, out of all the despair.
Again, you need to understand how to stay in a positive state. Because again, you also need to take responsibility for the choices you make and the consequences of those choices. Because you're co-creating. But it doesn't mean everything is lost. It simply means you need to adjust your frequency to be the frequency and the state of being of your true positive self, and then trust that synchronicity will bring you what you need. You're just getting the reflections of the states of being that you're going through, that you're choosing for yourself. You're getting those reflections. Because if a circumstance happens and you automatically define it as negative, then you have just proven that you are very willing to go into a negative state of being. You haven't changed. Remember, the measure of change is not whether the outside changes. The measure of change is whether you respond in the way that you prefer to, regardless of whether the outside changes or no matter how it looks. That's the proof you've changed.
I don't know if I can get it back, the drive, the...
Sure you can.
How?
Is anything exciting to you at all? Anything at all?
This.
Well, what's this?
I'm coming here to speak with...
All right, well, after you are done with this particular encounter,
back to nothing.
what will you do that is exciting? What can you choose that's more exciting than any other option in your life? Doesn't have to be a big thing. What normal, typical thing will have even just the tiniest bit more excitement in it than anything else? Just pick something that has more excitement than anything else, no matter what it is. Could be as simple as taking a walk. Could be as simple as phoning a friend. Could be as simple as eating a meal. Could be as simple as reading a book or browsing through a store. Just look at the options you have available to you when you are done with the encounter and pick the one that has just a little bit more excitement and act on that first to the best that you are able, taking it as far as you can until you can take it no further. Do so with absolutely no insistence on what you think the outcome ought to be. And when that excitement seems to go away, then stop, look at the options, pick the next thing that contains more excitement, even just a little bit than any other option, act on that next. Just keep doing that and you will keep moving forward in the energy of excitement. It will expand, it will grow, it will bring you through synchronicity more opportunities for bigger excitement, and then magical synchronous things will happen that you didn't even imagine were possible when it gets big enough. But you have to start the ball rolling by taking the first step. If you don't take the step, you're not going to experience the chain and the path of excitement. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
Start simple. If you don't know what to do, start simple. You can always go back to simple and just start again and let it grow. It will grow naturally. But you have to pay attention to yourself at every moment, because if something occurs, if something crops up that you would formerly have labeled automatically as negative, you have to stop doing that. And you have to know that even though it might be something negative that you observe, might be something you don't prefer, that's just a neutral observation. It doesn't have any effect on you unless you choose to match the frequency. So just observe it, learn something from it, find out why it would be there, because it might just be there to test yourself, to see if you really are willing to change regardless of how things look. Willing to be happy regardless of what other people say this must mean. Don't buy into other people's definitions. Create your own definitions of what it might mean for you. Even if you don't have a specific one, just know that it has to serve you in a positive way somehow. And it will give you a benefit. You'll eventually figure that out. But you've got to stop yourself from labeling things negative automatically. Yes?
Yes.
So that's the process that you can follow that can be of assistance to you. if you choose to do that. Does that help?
Yeah, it does.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.